I would say like when it comes to a programming language, so we know that programming language, it's kind of a language. Like we have a speaking language kind of English, Hindi, multilingual languages, right? Similarly, computer has their own programming language. They cannot understand anything if you speak with them, right? So then you need to give human instructions in some language, and that language is going to convert it into assembly language, which is in zeros and ones format. So that is going to be like this is called as a low level language. Why? Because machines cannot understand high level languages. You need to convert, I mean, like if you're writing any program, you need to convert that into a low level language. And if I'm like writing down problem statement is sum of the two numbers, I'll be writing down the function in Python, like sum is equals to a plus b, like that. And that whatever I have written here, it will be going to convert into ones and zeros format, and that's how your solutions is getting operated. Okay, so it's like a programming language or a way to communicate with your algorithm. Okay.
Okay.
Similarly, requirements. What are the requirements for like programming language? We need to take a like a language which is easy, which is simple and easy to learn. It should be well structured. Like there are functions, there are ways to comments on those functions. It should be easy to use it, right? It should have good readability. Like a lot of functions could be there. People have written a lot comments over there, so be easy for us to use and pick up the things in languages. Okay.
All right.
So algorithm is a step-by-step method, right? It is a step-by-step method. Input you will be going to give, you will be going to get an algorithm, and at the end, an output is there. Okay. So it is again algorithm again is a step-by-step method, or you say like the way to write like whatever the instructions you say, right? The way you will say like it's a like what is the first step you in summing up the two numbers, let's say. You will require the two numbers a and b first of all. You have to define the third variable sum. You have to call sum is equals to a plus b. That's how it's a step on step method. Something you first define, then you declare, and then you use it, right? So, for example, let's say there is a pseudocode as well. Pseudocode is also simple instructions. Pseudocode is also simple instructions. I would say, okay, that is like you will be going to set the number here as well. You have written I like find the two numbers. You will be saying like, okay, I'll be going to start with a begin. I'll be ending with end. Then you have to set the sum equals to zero. Read the two numbers, sum that up, and print that sum. So pseudocode is a way of writing your program description. Okay, that includes simple descriptions too, but does have a precise syntax. So it is a syntax is there. It is there, but this syntax is not like like it is like not a very important to take in syntax. See, pseudocode is like something like before starting out or writing down any program, it is important like to just tell someone like what is the way you will be going to write down a program. So here it is not having any proper syntax, not a precise syntax. It will be like you can change it. It can be like either you want to, I mean, like it will vary for different functions. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Uh,
No.
Boma and
No,
Chris.
no.
So flowchart is also the same thing. When you say like you want to sum the two numbers, right? Like the sum of the two numbers means to say you will be going to talk about starting point, which is like input the two numbers a and b. Then you will be going to say sum is equals to a plus b. Lastly, you will be going to put that output as print sum. So this is a kind of a flow chart to return the steps one by one. Okay, clear? Any questions?
No.
Mm-hmm. So then there comes up when we will be going to talk about Python. So Python, I mean like any programming language, whenever we have two things in it. One is called compiler, one is called interpreter. Compiler is a one where you are writing down a programming language and it converts your language it into a machine learning language. Okay, so it is like your code is there. Okay, you are writing like this kind of code. It is compiled into ones and zeros format, and that will give you some result. So compiler means it will be compiling the whole code into ones and zeros format. Okay, it will compile the code into machine level language. But what comes like after an interpreter? So, it this whatever you have written down in this code, correct? Whatever you have written down in this code, a script you have written, that interpreter will interpret that. It will try to understand that instructions one by one. It will take that code, pre-compile that code. Like whatever you have in the compiler stage, interpreter will take the code before the before the compiler stage and take out that scripts and give you the results. So only the difference between the compiler and interpreter is interpreter will come after compiler and interpreter will take in the instructions one by one. Compiler will take the whole code at once and convert your code into a machine level language. Clear? It's more on a theoretical concept, not I would say practical anywhere. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Sure. Boma, sure. I guess like for Boma, it's a revision.
Yeah.
For Chris, you
Yes. No
need to.
questions.
Okay. For
Thank you.
Chris, you need to be more outspoken on that.
Yeah.
Like, if you have any questions, okay?
Sure. Yeah. If I have, I'll ask.
Uh,
Thank you.
How about you, Chris? Any question?
No.
Okay. A second. Okay. Then we were talking about the variables. So what is a variable? Variable is a way to store the elements in, or data in your computer memory. You have seen a bucket, right? So what is the use of bucket? Buckets uses to store water. Similarly, variables aim is to store data in computer's memory. Okay. So at the end, whatever you are writing here, it will be storing in the computer's memory in the back end. Okay, so like when you say like price is equals to 30, so in this case price is a variable and 30 is a value. Okay, so variable can be of a different data types too. It is possible like variable could be a string, variable could be float, anything. So what is string? String is something like which is having in this inverted commas. Like commas are there, right? Inverted commas, anything which is in a string that can be in a this format. Okay, and if something is in a float way, it will be like a decimal values. So if the value is like 30.2 or 30.0, that means it is a decimal value, okay, or a float value. So you can see if you type the type of this price, it will give you as integer. If you say like type of 10, it is integer. Okay, if you say type of this message, it is a string. So in, this is more like a way to represent the types of variables, or to talk about like what are the types of variables, I would say. Now we'll see like what are the conditions of a variable name. How can you actually pull a, give the name to a variable. The name could be meaningful, okay? It could have an underscore character too. But the whole thing is like it should never begin with, it should only contain letters. And numbers should not begin, I mean like any, I, I would say the variable name can have any letter, can have any number, but it should not begin with a number. So for example, what are the illegal things you can think of writing down a variable name? So for example, I have written down price. This is valid. I have written down any other thing. It will be valid. But for example, the value starts with 76 or a number. It is wrong. It is an invalid thing. If a variable name is having these type of special characters, it's also invalid. If a variable name starts with a class, or these classes are the inbuilt functions. Okay, these classes are the inbuilt functions. Okay, classes, or any thing which is inbuilt function in Python. If you put that as a, I would say, as something like the name, then it is also wrong. Okay, it is invalid syntax. So now there are ways to talk about the assignment in the variables. We have like variable like this. We have given the test. What do you think? What is the this Chris? What do you think about this test? First string variable. What is the type of it?
What is the what?
Type.
The type?
Yeah, I mean like data type. This is the data, right?
Oh,
In that this is the variable, this is the data inside that, value inside that. So what is the data type of this variable called first string variable?
so you said that the ones in parentheses are string, right?
That's correct. So what is the type?
String?
Very good. So yes, that's correct. And what about this 100?
Integer?
Very nice. So that's correct. Like if you see, if I print the statements, so it is giving me the answer as test and 100 first of all. But if I type the print of the type of these variables, then it will give me first variable is string, second variable is integer, right? Correct? So only thing is because it is a test is inside the commas, and this is a normal number. Okay. But what about, let's say it, if it is like 100.2, what it would be? Hello.
Hello?
Float.
Hello?
Sorry? Yeah. If the value would have been 100.2, then what will be the answer?
Oh, float.
Are you getting my question, Chris?
Yeah, you keep cutting out the sound.
No. My question here is, right now I have given first integer variable is equals to 100, and you get the type is integer, correct? Because it is an integer normal value,
Right.
right? Number. But what if it is having a decimal value, 100.2? Then what will be the answer of this type?
Float.
Very good. That's correct answer. The class type would be float in that case. Now you have multiple assignments too. If you can give, like for example, I can access the variable. Okay, one more thing I want to say that if you will say like number example, but you haven't assigned anything here, and you're trying to access that variable, any value is assigned in this case, number example, anything here? Yes or no? Any variable is assigned with this variable? Any value is
No.
assigned with this? No, right? If no value is assigned, then that's why it is saying like your number variable is not defined. Okay, the number example, which is this one, it is not defined. It is that it does not contain any value. Okay, so it's just like meaningless variable for us if it is not defined anywhere. So that's why we are defining it as a number example is equal to, you are giving the access variable. I mean, you can actually access the variable after your assignment here. Okay, you can directly do that, right? So there are also multiple assignments. Multiple assignments means to say, like rather than giving a one, like here, how many assignments you did? Number example equals to do. How many assignments you did here?
One.
Well, let's say you have x and y here, integer x, integer y. You will give two assignments here, 5 and 22. Rather than giving the assignments in the new line, you can do that. I mean, like to save them, to save your space and all, you are start like writing down in this way. Like you have two variables, x comma y, and you are saying like their values are like 5 comma 22. So whatever the value is 5, it belongs to x. Whatever the value is in y, it belongs to 22. So it's like a way to represent multiple assignments. Okay. When you can have x comma y comma z, then it will be equals to 5 comma 22, and z could be any number like 33, like that. Okay. So you can have multiple assignments all together in a single line. Okay. Clear? Any questions till now?
No.
Any questions, Moma, you have?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, now I'll talk about the local, global, enclosed, and built-in variables. First of all, I'll just give you the theoretical concept, and if possible, I'll give you the practical, whatever I've shown her yesterday. Okay, so I would say that when it comes to local, so local means like something it is defined in a very small block. So block are the functions. You can say like block is a function in Python that could be in a enclosed, something. I would say like you cannot access any elements outside the block. If you are, defining something inside the function, you cannot call that outside the function. Okay, global is like when you are writing down the variables globally, it's used out, like you are defining that outside in the program, and it can be used anywhere in the program. Now it is just used outside the function. Okay, enclosed it like it is not global, and it is not I would say local as well. It is something in an enclosing space, but its functioning is very very similar to local. Built-in means like all these functions, all these variables, whichever we have, they are all I would say they are all having a built-in scope. Okay, I mean like all these built-in functions we have, like what you say, like classes, like sum, or all the init functions, all the cell functions. These are inbuilt. They are like you are like someone has created that and you're just using that. Okay, so this is called built-in functions. So for example, let me just show you.
Sorry, excuse me, sorry. Can you take it enclosed again?
Sorry.
Enclosed.
Yeah, it is just like very, very similar. I'll say sure that it is not something in the very important to understand. If you want, I can show you the small demo after the class. But it is something like a main aim is to understand local and global, which I did yesterday, right? So that is the main thing. Yeah. Very rarely we use like enclosed one. It's not like very important, I would say. Okay. Just a second. I'll just show you where we have done yesterday. Mm, yeah. So for example, yesterday we tried to do this, and I tried to help her out on this thing. So Chris, for you, I'll just explain the same thing. Okay. So these A1 and A2, B1 and sorry, A1 and B2, okay. What are these variables? These are global variables, something which is this is a function, okay? This is a function. Okay. If I'll say like A1 and B2, if I'll do this assignment, if I'll say like A1 into 3, then answer is 30 because I have defined A1 anywhere in the program. I mean, I have defined A1 now, and it can be used anywhere in the program. It is like global. Global means globally it can be used anywhere in your program when you are defining something out of the function. Correct? Clear? But when you have something here like this way, so if I'll say like in this case, if I'll say without this, okay, and if I'll give you yeah, if I'll give A is equals to 10, B is equals to 2, okay. So if I'll say this sum, if I'll give this, if I'll sum 12, why this 12 is coming? Because my A is 2, my A is 10, my B is 2. It is enclosed inside this code. So this particular code is called as function in Python. You will understand that later, but just for your defining, because it is in a block, so this is called block. Block is a function. When you define something inside the block, it will be enclosed inside the block only. So what do you think? What is a, if I'll print A, oh sorry, if I'll print A, what do you think? Will my answer come or not? Chris.
10.
Okay. What is the answer?
Oh, okay. You need to put equals or
Sorry? No. What you understood by this? Is my A defined
Let me see.
outside of wait, is my A defined outside the function? Is my A or B defined outside the function? Chris?
no.
It is defined inside the function, right? So something, if it is defined inside the function, due to which it is enclosed only inside the function. If you could say that, like, if I have print B, okay, that will also give the same result. If I'll say like print C, it will also give me the same, or print C2, it will also give me the same result. The whole thing is because it is all enclosed within the block. But let's say if this is the function, if I'll say x is equals to 10, y is equals to 30, okay, and let's say sum is equals to s is equals to x plus y, okay, x plus y, okay. This is the part. If I'll write down this, what do you think? If I'll print x, what do you think? Will this come or not?
No.
Why? I mean, like, this is a
Because
block of code, and now your code is outside the block, x and y. What do you think? X will come or not?
no, I think it would be the not defined. Oh,
See, the thing is, what I'm trying to tell you, if some code, if some variable is inside your def function, okay, okay, its scope is only defined inside this block. Its scope is only defined inside this block where I'm selecting, okay. It cannot be called outside anywhere else. That's why A and B, if you are trying to print out, it cannot be called outside because it is only defined inside the function, okay. But the variables like these, it is defined outside the function, correct? So their scope is global. It can be used anywhere in the program very easily. So they are called global variables. These are called global x and y, okay. And it is called um, local. What is local? Local A and B, as the scope is defined inside the function. Is it clear now?
okay.
Clear?
Yep.
So can you explain me now? What did you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Can you explain me?
So basically, the X and the Y is outside the function. So if I if I put print X, then it will show the value, and same with the Y because it's
Mhm.
outside of the function.
Very good. And how about this inside?
And inside you have to put the whole sum or the whole function.
Oh, no. Inside thing can never be given you an any print. If you want to print, you can only print it inside that A. Okay? You can only do print B. Then it can give you answer because you're printing it inside the function. But if you're printing it outside the function, their scope is only defined inside, right? Let's say, like, let's think like this way. You're living in a city, okay? Your address is private for you, right? No one knows about it, right? It is private. Your home address. It is private, and only few people or the block of people who are in that lane must be aware about where do you reside, right? But it's very private. So for like for the person like me or Chef Solutions, we are not sure about your your living area, right? So for us, like for us it is it is your address is local, which is locally available to the people who are nearby to you, right? But how about Chef Solutions? They have a headquarters, they have everything, right? So they are global in the market. They are people, I mean, like you can access them directly. So this is the difference. In real world, global is something which can be accessed anywhere. Local is something like which is locally private. Okay, clear? So that's why if you do like this way, okay, if I'll say like this, if I'll do, then what will happen? If I'll do this, now my A and B will, I mean, like, okay, my A, B will not give me anything. Why A, B, and C will not give outside, as I said, nothing will come out. But if I'll print this statement, it will say like A is 10, B is 2, C2 is 12. So this print statements will work only once your function is being called. That's it. Like their scope is only defined inside the function. Is it clear, Chris, now to you?
Yeah.
I have a question. So
Yeah,
how do
go.
you call the function, please?
Sorry?
How do you call the function?
This is the function, some function,
So
right?
you just call sum. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Then one more question. So like XYS are
Mhm. Clear? So it is easy for you to understand like how many locals are there, how many globals are there. Okay. Okay, now we will see like how many data types we have. So there are multiple data types we have: numeric, integer, float. Okay. So when you
Hello.
say numeric, yeah,
I think
go.
it's freeze.
Okay. Oh, sorry about that. So is it like now working, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So when you say like how many data types Python support two main numeric data types. One is integer, one is float. Numeric is one when you have integer or when you have float. Integer is like 32-bit or 64-bit. Float could be a decimal value, as I said. So integer is like you have a value, you are giving seven, like number is like 7 divided by 2. So integer means like only 3. When you divide that, what is the answer will come? What do you think the answer will come? When you divide 7 by 2, what is the answer? Actual answer.
Like 3.5.
Very good. And when you say like integer, int of that number only you want, then means like it is just giving you the integer part of it. So what is the integer part in 3.5?
Should be 3.
Very good.
Only the 3.
3. And when you say like normal number, like if you have 5.2 divided by 2, what is the number? Answer will come 2.6. Correct? So it is, if that is not defined as integer or anything, I'm just going to give you an idea that if it is an integer number, the answer will be 3. If it would be only float number, or to find out like what is a float number, then the correct answer will be 2.6. So for example, if I'll say like integer of 7 by 2, so it will only give me 3. But if I'll say like 7.2, it will give me 3.5. So this is the direct answer. So if I'll say like, okay, float of 7 by 2,
Give you 3.5.
3.5. Clear? So normal, it will also give me the same answer. And with a float, also give me the same answer. It is giving you, like here in this case, you're giving them idea like, okay, if there is a float value, then give me the value in the float. It's okay. If in this case, you are saying like, if the value is in float, but I just want the integer part of it. That's why I just want 3 answer. Okay? Clear?
Yeah.
Any questions? No? Okay. So there are another data type which is string. String is like you have with single quotes you can write down double quotes, you can also write down triple quotes. Okay, for example, if I'll say print this hello, it is how many double quotes are there? It's double quotes, right? Hello. If I'll say print, but I'll give one quote, it's also working. If I'll say print 1, 2, so how many? There is 3 here, 3 here. So something written here. Okay. But let's say if I'll do want, so it will give me the error. Why it is giving me the error? The reason being is because you cannot add on multiple comments like with commas again and again. It is not going to possible. It will only work till these 3 things: single quote, double quote, and triple quote. That's it. After that, it will never work for you. Clear? I just want to show you. That's why I have written like 4 quotes or 5 quotes like that. So this will give you end of line character. It will say this is not in quotes. Clear?
So that's called a string.
Yeah, it is a way to call in string. It's either you can call it in single quote, that will also give you the same result. If you will call with the double quotes, that will also give you the same result. If you call with like triple quotes, it will also give you the the same result. But it cannot possible to write down with 4 quotes or 5 quotes or 6 quotes, because your string could only have these type of acceptance: single, double, or triple. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So next part is like null and boolean values. What is the main case of that? So null values is the one which is like when you are not giving any values to any number. Okay, it is none. Okay. And when you say like number is none, then the boolean type is saying like true. What does that mean? Like for example, let's say if I'll say number is equals to null. Okay. So number is what? It is giving you any result? Is a number giving you any result? Is number giving you any result? It is just giving you an answer as none. Any questions here? Any question to understand what is this? If I'll say number 2, number 1 is equals to 23. So print number 1. Will it give me answer? it will give me the answer as 23. So that number 1 is a variable and it contains the value as 23. Now we'll say like number is none or not. So it will give me the answer as true. If any value is coming is true or false, Boolean means like ones and zero, yes or no, true or false. So if it is coming that it is a Boolean values. So here number is giving me the answer as true. Similarly, if I'll say number 1 is even is 23, let's say. It is giving me the answer as value as true, right? So this is also the case. It can ask you like, okay, these are all these warnings that doesn't make sense to you. These are just warnings. If you understand, it's saying like, do you want to replace is equals to with double equals to or not? So if you can like write down the same thing with number like this with values, you could have written. So it is also giving you true answer. Clear? Boolean values and null values. Clear? Any questions?
So what is null?
Sorry?
What is null? But you say a boolean
Null
is
means null. It is means null, nothing. It is
oh,
just
okay.
okay. So if you're saying like, and I don't want to give any number to anything, any this thing, so that's why it is presenting you as null. You're not giving anything. That's why. Okay, you're not passing any values here. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is a use case of typecasting? So here I will say like when I say like a variable as x is equals to 10 divided by 2. Okay. So print x. Let's say this is the answer will come. The answer will always come in a float answer. Okay. If I'll say like x is equals to 11 by 2, the answer will come. Okay, not x, sorry. Let's say y. Okay, and I'll say print y. Okay, so answer is in floating value. But let's say if I want to typecast that, typecast means externally I'm creating a like something that it will only give me the values which I want. So here I'm typecasting the value of x to integer. Okay, if I print this, okay, so here the answer will be typecasted to 5. So typecasting means externally I am giving my x variable that it should only give me integer value. That's why it is called typecasting. You're casting the type. Okay. You're molding the type of the variable. Okay. Now if you say like I want the y variable. Again, that same thing. Y was 5.5. That's why your answer is coming as 5 only. Clear? Any question till now? You can change any other thing. If you want like a type of like you would see that type of y now. It will give you float answer. But if you want to let's say y is equals to you say int of y. Okay. Then if you say type of y, then what is the value? What is the answer? It will give you now if y is now integer. If you want this y, which is there, you want to change that y. I mean, like, let's say z. This is z, okay? You want to change that y value to a string. You have typecasted that integer to a string as well. So if you see print type, I mean, like uh, type of set. So it will give you a class of string. And if I show you Z, it will show you 5 now in the quoted commas. Clear? This is the way you are typecasting as per your coded, as per your language, whatever you want. Because sometimes you, if you want to, like, let's say, why we need this type of castings? Because let's say you are adding, like, you have created a number, you want to say, like, okay, hello, my number, okay, print that my number in my in my number or like my marks uh, in class mathematics is okay. So if I'll say like this, if I'll say this value as if I'll say this value as what is the value of x? What is the value type of x? What is the type of x? The type of x is 5.2, right? Because we did that earlier, the type, right? So if we want to use the like if we want to see what is the type of y, what is the type of y? The type of y is integer. If I'll try to use this x and x, what is the answer? It will give me this way. Okay. Wait. If I'll say like this, it will give me this answer. Okay. Uh, So the whole thing is what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes the code will give you the values as like you can actually, uh, you know, uh, like you can concatenate your string, like you can concatenate your string and integer, uh, like if you can convert that into a string format. Okay. So I was just telling you how we can use this string. If this is a string variable, right? You can basically concatenate that I would say string with string itself. So for example, if I want to add this x is equals to Tanvi, not x. Let's say a is equals to Tanvi. Okay. So my x is equals to my z is equals to, we know that is 5, right? So if I'll say like my concat function I want, okay, for x and z, what is the answer? Not x and z, sorry, a and z. What is the a? A is this. If I'll say A is Tanvi, if I want to add that with the Z, that will give me the answer. Okay, this is the answer, Tanvi 5. But let's say if I'll try to do the same thing with the other values. What is the other values? The other value would be like with a Z rather than I'll take X. So it will say you can not concatenate string with a float value. Okay. If I'll say, um, if I'll the same thing, if I'll use X, if I just want to see like whether you're able to get this idea or not. Okay. Let me know if you have any concerns. So here in these two cases, both of the times it is saying like you cannot concatenate your string integer to a string, your float to a string. That's why it is giving you an issue. But in case of Z and A, it is easily worked very well for you, right? So the thing is like what happens when we are doing this typecasting, the aim of this is like we don't want this type of functions to be come up. If we want to add, multiply, or doing any mathematical function on the strings, so we need to do that they both, I mean like if you're trying to do on the strings, then they should be of same type. You cannot add any two different numbers all together. Okay. Or you cannot add or multiply the the one type and the other type. Okay. So you need to typecast that so they both of them convert it into the same shape, like same format or same data type, and that's how you can able to do all that mathematical function. So if you want to do this, if you want to, let's say if you want to do this, what is the best part you can do? You will say like, okay, I know what is my a. What is my a? Oh, sorry. What is a? The a is Tanvi. Okay. And what is x? X is 5.0. If I want to add these two numbers, what I can do is a plus str or that value called x. It will easily come now. Okay. So whole thing is like what I have done that I have typecasted the values of string x to a string value. What was the x type? It was 5.0 float value. I typecasted that into a string. That's why it was able to give me the answer. Is it clear now, everyone? Same thing. What will we do with y?
It's not clear to me.
Okay. Why? What is the problem?
The question, but from, I don't know, you have to you need to scroll down. I don't know how you got the value for z or something. It just came up
Okay.
and changed to
Wait. Let me just tell you like this way. Simple. Okay. Let me tell you like this way. Let's say A1. Okay. What is the A1? Let's say we'll take it as chef solutions. Okay. Clear? A2. Let's say A2 is equal to solutions. Okay. These two are
no,
what?
my question was before concatenate. I don't know if you want to concatenate
I
this
get
thing.
that. I get that. That's why I'm explaining you this
Okay.
thing. First of all, let's say now if you have A1 and A2, if you add these two numbers, if you say print A1 plus A2, what do you think answer will come? Will these first of all concatenate? What this plus means to say in case of string, it is called as concatenate function. Okay. What do you think? Will they concatenate it or not?
No.
Why? They both are same type, right? They
Okay. No. So I got it mixed up. It will. Yeah.
they will come.
I was thinking of the comma but it doesn't have to be there
I mean, like
in
plus
the
means like
bracket.
concatenate, adding these two strings together. If you will add the two strings together, will that come or not? Yes, they will come, right? If they are of same type, they will come for sure. But let's say if you have A3 is equals to number 2, okay? And if you try to do A1 plus A3, what do you think? Will that come for you? What is A1? What was A1? In this case, what is A1?
Chef.
What chef, very good. And what is A3?
Chef Saul.
No, what
Oh,
is
two.
A3?
A3 is 2.
Ah,
So it
now,
will be chef. So
okay,
it's an integer. A3 is an integer. So we have to do typecasting first.
very good. But what do you think? Will it first of all convert? I mean, like, will it get concatenate or not? Yes,
No, it won't because there are different types.
very good. The one is A1 is string type, and
String, A3 is integer.
A is integer. That's what I say. You can only concatenate string to string and not integer. So here we have integer A3. Yeah, A3 as integer. That's why it is not getting concatenated, right? So if I want to concatenate that, how will I do that? Very easy. I'll do the typecasting of this thing very well. Okay, clear? If I do this, it will easily concatenate it. Correct?
Yes.
Right? Similar thing comes up when you have, let's say, A, which is equals to 2.0, like 2.2, let's say. Okay. So what is the type of this? A4. What is the type of A4? What is the type of A4?
Float.
Very good. Okay. If I say, like, I want to add that A1 plus A4, will it come? What is A1? My A1 was chef. And will A1 and A4 come? A4 is a float and A1 is a
No,
string. Right?
they won't.
Again, I'll show you if you have any concerns. A1 and A4. I want to see whether let me if you want to print the two both all together, then always print like do the print statement before that. Okay, so you will see like it will give you chef A for A1 and A4 is 2.2. So they both are one is string, one is float value. So that's why they are not able to give. If you want to do that, how can you do? You can typecast the values. So the best part is here you can just convert the value. Correct? Correct? Clear? So this is the way you can do the typecasting, and that is what XY explaining there as well. So there is nothing new. Clear, Voma?
Yes.
Everything? How about
Mhm.
Chris? Is it clear for you too?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay. Any questions if you have, please let me know. Tell me if you have any questions. Chris, are you saying anything? Do you have any questions?
Um, the what's it called? Countea.
Sorry?
The go back to the previous one. Concatenate.
Concatenate. It is concatenate.
Yeah, continent. Um, that's basically like processing the.
It is just like concatenating is like adding the two strings together.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
numbers, what you say? Add the two numbers, right? In case of strings, you say add the two strings, or you say concatenate the two strings, because two strings will not get add up like the way you get like 10 plus 2 is a different number after addition, 12, right? But with adding the two strings, you're just making these two strings joining, right? If you have a chef, you have Saul. With concatenation or with adding these two strings, you are just making it chef Saul, right? So it's like just joining the two strings together. That's why it's called as a adding the two string or concatenating or joining the two strings. Clear? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what is your question now? What you said?
Also,
Sorry.
yeah, there's a how you use that
Okay.
CONCATE. What's that? You know, when
Okay. Now we'll talk about like keywords. Okay. So what are the keywords here? The keywords are the reserved words in Python. Okay, so there are different type of keywords in Python. One is like we have and, as, assert, break, class, continue, def. Like the function which we used, it starts with def. So these are keywords in Python, which are like defined already. You're just trying to use that. Some functions are there, if else are there, import is there. All these are like print statement is there. That function, these are functions, these are keywords. Which someone has when someone was creating Python, so they use these keywords. They created these
Mhm.
keywords, and you're just utilizing that for your own purpose. Correct? So they are called reserved words. So, for example, in our case, we have used print statement. We have also used a def function, right? Where is that function? Yeah, we have used this def part as well, right? So they are called prints, they are called reserved keywords. So, what is a kind of identifiers? Identifier is also kind of a way to, I would say it is just like the name what you want to give to your classes, to your functions, to your variables, that can differentiate from the class what we already, these type of keywords or built-in functions being defined in Python already. Okay, so we don't want to give that I would say uh, that names to them, right? So I would say like identifier is like a way to give the way to give the name to a class or a function or a variable. Okay, so here what you will say like if I'll give the class name as my class or simply 123, that's correct. If it cannot, it cannot start with a digit, as I said. You cannot start any value or any number, any name with a digit, but you could have like variable 123, but you cannot have a class name or a function name like this. If you will say like this, some 123, okay. So if I'll say like this, it will work, but the correct is like let's say if I'll say like 123 and 123, okay. If I'll say like this, it will say your name, this is not valid. The way to write a function name is not valid. Your value name, your variable name or a function name can never start with a digit. Okay, that is important thing to call out. it should never start with all these special characters. It could be of any length, that's not problem. Okay. So next part is like conditional expressions. When you have equals to, when you have not equal to, when you have less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Okay. They're all used for comparisons. Just give me a minute. Uh, Hey guys, sorry for this delay. I just had that. Yeah. So, conditional expressions is about like equals to, not equals to, less than, greater than, and less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. Correct? Right? So, what is the meaning of equals to? A is equals to B. A is not equals to B. I'll just explain you that. Okay. So, if I say A is equals to 2 and B is equals to 2. Okay. So if I say A is equals to B, what do you think? What is the answer will come? I explained that above little bit earlier. What do you think, guys? Answer will come in this case. These are called comparison operators because they're comparing the values together. What do you think? The answer in this case. Boma, Chris, what do you think the answer will come? Hello.
Hello?
True.
Yeah. So,
Yes, true, true.
very good. And what do you think about when you say like A is equals to 2 and B is equals to let's say 4. Okay. What do you think in this case? Get it?
False.
Yes, very good. Let's say if you have a value as A1 which is equals to 2. Okay. And B1 is equals to chef. Okay. If I say A1 equals to B1, what do you think? What the answer will come? First of all, will it actually do the comparisons.
No.
So it will say as false because they both are not of correct same type. Okay. So that's not giving you any because they're just giving you that both are not equals to. Correct? Okay. So this is one thing. Now let's say if you have A and B like this, if you say like what is A and what is B? A and B is this, A is equals to 2, B is equals to 4. Clear? Because we defined it here, right? Now, if I'll say A is greater than B, what do you think? Is A 2 is greater than 4 or not? What do you think in this case answer will?
False.
The correct answer is false. What do you think about A is less than B?
True.
True.
Very
Can you scroll down 1 minute? I want to see how you got the AM. Okay, yeah. Okay, good.
We did that, right?
No,
So-
you went up. I didn't see it again, but I just saw the printed
Okay.
one. So
Now let me tell you, what do you think about less than or equal to? What do you think with this answer? This is
False.
called less than, no, this is called less than or equals to. Either it is less than or either it is equals to. Both of them, these situations will work. So is
Oh,
A
okay.
less than or with B or not?
but it's not equal to it's hold on. It's less
Any
than, but
of
not
them
equal
will
to.
work. Any of them. If A is equals to B, then it will also give you true. If A is less than B, then it will also give you true. So what do you think? What is the answer in this case? Any
True,
of
but
the values. Yeah. The whole thing is because if you
less
actually
than.
split that way, it means like A is less than or A is equals to B. They both are, if you want to combine these two like these two functions together, that's why it is represented with this thing, less than equals to. Clear?
Hmm.
Less than and equals to is represented with this part. It is, first of all, it is like this way. Clear? I mean, like if you want to join these two, like these two operators together, that's why we have this thing. So any possibility, whatever exists in this case, would also exist in this case too. Clear? Is it clear, everyone? Shall I go ahead? Okay. So what do
Yeah.
you think about if I'll say like A is equals to, now let's say 5 and B is equals to 4. If I'll say whether A is greater than B, what do you think?
True.
Very good. Very nice. And let's say if I'll say about A is greater than or equals to A is greater than or equals to B. What do you think?
True.
Very good. Right? Let's say now next part is if I'll say A is greater than or equal. What is A first of all? What do you think A is? What is
5 integer.
very good. And what is B?
4.
Very nice. If I'll say if A is greater than or equals to 4, so what do you think? What is the answer will come in this case? Or sorry.
Oh, false.
Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that one is true.
Why?
True.
Can you tell me why?
Because it is already defined as
No.
5.
5.
Okay.
It's equal to 5.
So with 5, they both are equals, right? A is equals to 5 already. Right. So with this, the statement of 5 is equals to 5, that will become as true. Correct? Right? Right? If I'll say like the same thing with like this way is greater than or equals to 6. What is the answer in this case? What do you think? The answer will be
False.
very good. So it's clear, right? What is the meaning of less equal to greater than all that? Now it's clear, right? Everyone? Okay, there is another possibility which I haven't explained you. A is not equals to B. What is A and what is B? Once again, guys, can you tell me what is A and what is B?
5 and 4.
Very
So
good.
A is not equal to be true.
Right? It is not equal to B. Chris, what is your answer in this case? True or false?
True.
Very good. So the answer is true. Clear? I guess like everyone is clear with all these things, right? I'll go ahead now. Okay.
Yeah.
So the way to write down now, we'll be talking about a function. Function, as I said, it is a block of code. You will just write down a function once and can use it in your code again and again every time. Okay. So it will be used every time in your code again and again. Okay. So the way to write down a function, it's like you always start with the def keyword, give your name of the of the name of that function, whatever you want to do, some arguments, whatever you want to give, and then statements, and then return that value, whatever you want to return in. Okay. So output is always communicated by a return statement. If you want to print, you can print that, but what is your function going to return you, that is done with the return statement. And arguments are all the parentheses. In the parentheses you will be going to put down the arguments, that a comma b, whatever we used to say. You remember, Boma, yesterday you asked me why a comma b is there with the function name. That is because that are called as arguments. I told you I'll explain you yesterday, like tomorrow. So this is where you will see. So how to create a function? Let's say I created a function called def my first function name, and our name is argument. This is argument. Name is an argument. Inside bracket, whatever is there, it is an argument. You are returning the name, whatever you have, you are returning that. So if I'll say print my first function, this is my first function. The way to call a function, you created this function. Now to call the function, you have to call this name with whatever the arguments you want to pass in, and automatically this Jack is going as in a name, and it will return you the name as this thing. So similarly, if you want to return the values like like the two numbers, you want to add the two numbers, what you will do, you will create a function name as add two numbers with the two number name like variables, number one, number two, and then you will be returning the two numbers, which is number one plus number two. Okay. This is the way you created a function. Okay. You created a function here. You define the function here. Now let's talk about like what is number one. You are saying like my number one is 23. My number two is 47.5. You're giving these two numbers, add two numbers, which is number one comma number two, number one comma number two. You gave this, you call that function now. What is the function name? Add two numbers. That's why you call that function with the, because it always wants two arguments from you as a user. So you will be giving these two arguments as well. And that's why your answer is 70.5. In this case, when you created a function, you are just giving a blank parenthesis. You're not adding anything in the parenthesis. It means once you create it, you're not expecting anything from the user. Okay. So that's why when this function is being called, there is no arguments being passed inside it. There's nothing inputs or any variables being expected, because in the function definition, there is nothing, no arguments being asked from the user. Also, like the definition also says like you have age, height, and weight defined inside the function name itself. So this is the way you create a function, you call the functions. Clear, everyone? Any questions?
Good. So let me ask one quick question. Like if you have an argument in it, and you're calling the function, you have to pass argument in the, so you have, hold on, you have to pass the argument when you call the function, right? Like here, you're calling the function number, so you have to pass in the argument.
Can I
Your
hear
voice,
this?
yeah, I'm maybe not able to hear you. So
Oh,
sorry.
okay. So what I'm asking is,
I guess you are using either the two mics. That's why this is always a little issue for you. If you are using that, please stop it, because
using what?
I mean, like, your voice is never going. I mean, like, most of the times, like, whenever you ask the questions, your voice is not clear.
I don't know why. Do you need to get a headset? I don't have a headset. I'm just speaking on the computer,
Now
so
it
I
seems
don't.
more clear.
Yeah, can you just stop that without headset or something like whenever you are using
No,
it?
I'm not using a headset. What I'm saying, if you
Now it is
want
clear.
me
Yeah,
to
it is
use,
clear. Yeah, go ahead now.
okay. So what I'm asking is, oh God. Okay, like here you're calling the function.
Mhm.
If you're calling the function, you have to pass the arguments when calling the function, right?
Yeah, it completely depends when you have created a function,
Have a clue
expected the arguments, you created that with arguments,
with
or
arguments.
yeah, or you created without the arguments. Okay. If you created without the arguments, so whenever you call the function, you do not have to pass that arguments. If you
Arguments,
created
okay.
that with the arguments, then you expected is like whenever you call that function, you will be going to pass the arguments. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So for example, let me just clear this information to you guys. So let's say if I'll create the number as someone, okay, I'll create A, comma, B. I created this two arguments I want to add, okay. I'll what I said, I'll say again, I'll just give you, always write down this way, def, name of the function, A, comma, like any parenthesis, or any arguments you want to pass, then pull the colon here, then set the return option. It automatically will give you the indentation. These four blocks are not open. It will give automatically inside the block. Then just say C sum is equals to A plus B. Okay, right? So return, you want to return something up or in this function. You will say return some function. Okay. Let's say I'll create a variable. I don't want to, because whenever it creates in a green function, it means like these are reserved keywords. So we don't want to mess up with those reserved keywords. Let's say I'll just say like sum AB. This is a variable. I created the variable name as sum AB. Okay. So this is my function name. When I call this function, what is expected? My expectation is I have to give the two numbers here, A and B. So I'll give like 30 and 40 directly. Okay. So the answer will be 70 in this case. So expected is like need to pass the two arguments. That's why I pass the two arguments. Either you do like this way, either you do like this way. Number one is equals to 30 or number two is equals to 40. Okay, and someone with number one, because it expects the two numbers, two things from you, and the data type should be numbers only. So it could be number two. Okay, that's why it is able to give you. Also, it's not important that it should be a number. You can also pass then, because it needs to add the two things. Either it's a number, either it's integer, either it's float value, anything. If you have chef, if you have solution, let's say, okay, if you have string 1, if you give it as a string 2, if you would say that, okay, I want a string 1, if you say string 2, automatically this also will come. So am I using anything else? No, it's just like a block of code is written. I'm again and again just calling it out, and that's why it is able to give me the answer. Is it clear now, everyone? Any questions now?
Yes. Yes, it is. Thank you.
So this is arguments is clear. Now let's talk about something without the arguments. Let's say I want to multiply the two numbers. Okay, multiply two numbers. So what will I do? I'll say number one I want. I mean, like I need A and B, two numbers, right? I need two things out there. I will say like multiplication is equals to A into B. Correct? This is the way to write down the multiplication. In a computer, multiplication is with this sign. Clear? So here I'll return okay, without the arguments I said, right? So without the arguments, it means like I need A, which is equals to 10, B is equals to 20, let's say. Okay, so I defined A and B inside that. That's why if I'll be returning this, I'll be returning multiplication answer. Okay, so this is the way to call, if I'll call this multiplication number directly, so am I passing any variables here? Am I passing any arguments? Yes or no, guys? In defining this function, am I passing it?
No.
No. So do I have to call, when I will be calling this function, do I have to pass anything?
No, you don't.
Okay. If I don't, then let's say, like, that's why it's able to multiply that, right? 10 into 20 is 200.
Mm.
Let's say if I pass that a comma b, what do you think? Will it work? It will say multiplication number, that is this variable function, it takes 0 positional arguments. It is expected like no arguments at that, but you are giving 2. Okay, you are giving the 2, right? You're passing a and b. That's not expected. Remove that out and it will work automatically. Clear with this, everyone?
Yes.
Everyone, Grace?
So the MUL, that's for the multiplication.
Yes,
That's
yes.
it's one of the Python
No,
definition, or
if something will come in green letters like this, right? It is a reserved keyword. If something will come like this, it's a reserved keyword. Okay. If something will come like this, black thing, that means it's not a reserved keyword. That's okay. If something like this, class is there. It's a, as I said, it's a keyword. Is these are the keywords, reserved keywords. Something when someone is creating Python, you can differentiate, right? You can differentiate, this is in black color, this is in green color, and this is also in green color. So something when it is created in green color, it is a built-in function, or built-in function means like someone has already created in Python. When they were creating Python, they defined something in
oh, okay.
okay. So these are reserved things, so you cannot change it. It's already reserved. So for printing out, let's say for printing the statements, you cannot do that without the print statement. You need to print that, right? You don't need to write the print before printing any statement, right? So that's why it's reserved. Someone created it, you are just using it now. But like the black letters are like something you can use for your own selves, right? Is it clear now?
Okay.
Okay, so any other questions you have? Shall I go ahead?
Yeah.
Everyone clear with these
Yeah.
things? Okay, very good. Now we'll talk about strings now. String is a sequence of characters, sequence of pure Unicode characters, right? So string could be like this way, as I said, like single quote, double quote, triple quote, and 3 double quotes we can have. It'll like all these things could be worked. Okay. So string functions could be like concatenation, it could be repetition, it could be indexing, it could be okay. So the some of the things is, I'll just start you about string. So string, like you see this, it's a reserved keyword. Okay, this is a reserved keyword. str is a reserved keyword, right? So it's better I can use it like str ring. Okay, complete. Okay, so if I'll say chef, okay, so this is what? It's a print the type of string. What is it is coming? Okay, so it is coming as a class str. Okay, so str is defined already. That's why it was coming as green color. Okay, okay. So if I want to concatenate the two strings, what I told you if you have string, you have like this thing. What is string 2? Let's say I will say solutions. Okay, so this is also a string, this is also a string function, right? String thing. What I'll do in this case is I'll just say print, I want to concatenate that. So what I'll do, I'll say print, I'll say string 1 plus string 2. Okay, so whenever I want a like a like space could be there. How could I add space? I
could add space with this function. Okay. What is this meaning? It basically means like you have a string 1, you are adding that with some space, then you are whatever the value you come, you again add with the string 2. Okay.
You have to have this space.
Yes, you have to have the space. Okay, clear everyone with this thing? If you want to add more space, can add that. More space will
What
come.
is it? What is the difference between the quotation? How many you need? Can you use
Yeah,
just?
you can use like this way as well. It's
Oh, okay.
okay. Any questions? Anyone, any questions? No? So now we'll talk about like repetition. So if I'll say like I want to repeat the numbers, let's say I want this print, I want this string, whatever I have, string in 1, okay, into, I want it 3 times it will come, okay. So it will come 3 times, chef, 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 okay, clear? Everyone, is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
It's called as a repetition in your strings. This is the way you repeat the elements. If you multiply that with number, it will give you the answer. If I would have a number like 2, and if I would have done 2 into 3, it would done 2 into 3 is equal to 6. It would give me like 6 number, which I don't want. I want the repetition in strings. That's why this is the way to repeat the number. Like always multiply that with the number. Then it will be like you are like how many numbers you have written, it will be repeated that many times. Clear this thing?
Yeah. How would you write that if you wanted to put the 2 times the 3?
2 times
String
3.
1 and quotation and then 2 asterisk 3.
No. I was telling you that if I would have written like 2 into 3, the answer would be 6.
Oh, okay.
Plus
All
it is a number, right? That's why it would give me the number. But if it is a string, as it's a string, so string with string, the multiplication means different. It means more like a, what do you say? More like kind of, I would say, a repetition. That's why I was telling you. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? No questions? Shall I go ahead? Okay. We can talk
Yeah.
about indexing as well now. So what is the meaning of string 1? What is this? Chef, right? If I want to find out the index, so always remember, in Python, index means position. So in this case, this position starts from S is starting at 0th position. In Python, always remember the values, whatever we have, it starts with 0th position. So S means 0th position, H is at first position, E is in the 2nd position, F is at 3rd position. So how many letters we have? Total 4 letters, right? How many letters we have? How many letters we have? I mean, like how many characters we have in this?
4.
In this,
4.
right? And is equals to, if I'll say length of string 1, how many it is? And is
4.
4, correct? And then what I said you that always and always remember S start is at 0th position. S is at 0th position. Sorry, my bad, sorry. S is at 0th position. H is at first position. E is at, a 2nd position. And F is at 3rd position, right? This is what I've told you, right? Are you able to get this idea? What I'm
Yes.
trying to tell you? So
Yeah.
if n is 4, how many total, like all these 4 are there, but they start with 0, they end with 3. So always remember, if any element which is starting at 0th position, it means like their ending will be n minus 1, correct? There are total 4 characters, but as they are starting with 0, so you need to calculate 0 as well, right? So So the ending always and always in Python, in list, strings, anywhere, it always ends with n minus 1. It always ends with n minus 1. As it starts with 0th position, that's why it always ends with n minus 1. What is n in this case? 4. And what is n minus 1? 3. That's why your characters are ending with n minus 1 position. Clear? Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Is it clear, everyone? If my, again, I'm
So
repeating that, again, I'm repeating that. If my, let's say, if I had, this way, okay? If I would have this thing in this case, like this way, rather than 1, it will be 2, it will be 3, it will be 4, okay? If my position starts with 1, it ends with 4. If I have n is equals to 4, that length is equals to 4. So all these values are ending with, lastly, the element is 4 only. They have total 4 characters only. They have total 4 characters. It's just like the way in Python is used, is it with 0th position, and that's why its ending is it with n minus 1. Clear? Are you getting my point now?
Yes.
Chris, is it clear for you too?
and so why
Mhm.
is it? But I thought you said the first one had the S has to start with 0.
Yes, if it starts with 0, it has to end with 3, right? Correct? If total
Yeah,
there
because
are 4
this.
characters, if there are total 4
Oh, okay.
characters,
Yeah.
then it will end with 3. Correct? It's just like mathematically, I just give. Sometimes
But
people get confused like why it's 3, why it is like n minus 1. That's why I'm just making sure like your basics are getting cleared. Because if it starts with 1, it would definitely end with 4. But in Python, it is defined as in a syntax way. They always has to start with 0. That's why their ending will always be n minus 1. Clear? There is the total 4 characters only, but it's just like the way the position is starting with 0, that's why it ending with n minus 1. Clear? Clear, Chris and Boma?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll talk about okay, one more thing I want to tell you guys. If I want to index that, okay, so what was my string 1, guys? What was my string 1? Chef, right? If I want to access the third, if I want to access the third element, how will I say it? I will say like I want to access the string 1, uh, third element. Okay, that's it. Clear? 0, 1, 2, and 3. What is the answer will come?
E.
No, 0, 1, 2, 3.
oh,
F.
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 Yes, right? If I'll say like I want to access the element E, then what is that E? It starts it is in 0, 1, and 2, second
2.
position, right? So that's why it will give me E answer. Clear, everyone? This is
So
this is called as indexing, because you are indexing the elements. You are using the positions to get the elements there. Clear? Yeah, go ahead. Do you have any questions? Boma and Chris, please go ahead.
no.
No, I don't.
So you get that idea, right? It's called access that characters in the strings. I get that information. Gave you that information, how to set that string length as well. You get that idea. You also get that. Okay, I also want to
Can
tell
you
you.
go back?
Sorry.
Can you go back on the slide, please? I have a question. Yeah. So, can you explain print a string length, a string?
I'm telling you. That is what I was telling you. Wait.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you with the slide. I will give you if I'm taking the practical.
Okay, sure.
So what is the length of this string 1? Length means what? What is the length in this case? The length is 4. Because,
4.
why? Because string 1 was chef solutions. So how many total characters we have? 4 characters. So length will only tell you total characters in your string. That's why it is giving me, out of string. If I'll say like string 1 and 2 is equals to string 1 plus string 2. You know that what is the answer of that, right? If you remember. What is the answer of that string 1? You remember what is the answer in, I mean, like what is string 1 and what is string 2? Did you guys remember that?
Chef and Sol. That's all they want.
Yes, that's correct. Right? So I'll just show you so that it is easy for you to understand. So if I'll see string 1 is string 2 is solved, right? So if I'll concatenate that with some space, okay, then my variable string 1 2 would be chef solve, right? Correct?
Yeah.
If I'll say like the length of string 1 2, what it would be? Can you tell me? Take your idea. Take your 2 minutes and think about it.
Length of string 1 2 0 1 2
No,
3.
complete it out, na? Like add this total. How many, what is the string 1 2? String 1 2 is now chef solved, right? So what is the length of this variable? That's it.
Do we? Okay.
Just try that. Then I'll explain.
It's either 6 or 7. And 7 if you
Yes.
add the space.
Chris, what about you?
I think 8.
Very good. That's the correct answer. The reason being is like if you see S 1, 2, 3, 4 with some space 5, 6, 7, and 8.
It's
Answer
okay.
is 8. Clear?
Well, take it again. I'm still getting 7.
Can you tell me why are you should have to add that space as well?
You should have what?
You have to add space as well.
Yes, I did. Hold on. Let me count it again. 0 1 2 3 4 5.
Why you are adding? Wait, Boma,
Why am I still getting 7?
Wait. I'm telling you.
Oh, because she's counting
She's
the
counting
S as 0.
yeah. When you're counting the elements, count it normally. When you are accessing the elements, access that with 0. That's it. So here you are counting that elements with 0. You don't have to count it with 0. You have to count it normally with 1. How many elements? 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? Then 5 is with space. Then 6, 7, 8. That's it. Clear?
Okay. It's clear
So
now.
how
But
do you?
can you tell me?
Again, always remember this thing. When you are counting the elements when you are counting the characters, count it normally. Normally. I mean,
Okay.
normally with 1. Okay?
No.
But when you are
No.
counting with, when you are, wait, Lumboma, please let me explain that. When you are counting the characters, clearly count it normal way with the number 1. But when you're trying to access the elements, access with 0th element, okay, 0th number. That is the, that is the format of Python, okay? Yeah.
So how do I differentiate element and what's not element? Because the other one we did was also chef. So what's the difference? I don't understand.
What is the meaning of that? I'm not able to understand your question first.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Like you said, when you're counting the elements, now this other part that is just chef, I don't know what you call that. And this side, how do I differentiate between chef and chef sol as elements?
Yeah, Boma, why this is so confusing for you? But tell me one thing. When you are having a string 1, okay, how many characters you have in that string 1?
4.
That's it. How many characters you have in string 2?
3.
take it as with the word like that way. No, that's not what I'm trying to tell you. Word. That's it.
Mhm.
Don't take it like that way. I'm just telling you that if you're accessing the element, the length of the characters, right? Always count that with 1. Okay. The numbers always is being counted in a 1. But when you're trying to access the word, or when you are trying to access the indexing way, then always started with 0. That's it I was telling you. That's no difference. I hope like
I
this is
still,
clear.
I
Yeah.
understand, but I still don't get the point. What the difference is?
You don't have to get that difference. That's it. Like it's not important like what you are saying. Like maybe like that's a confusion created. That's not a word or element. That's nothing like that. Okay. It's just
No,
like
hold on. Why did we for chef string 1? We started from 0, 1, 2, 3. Now we came to string 1.
why this is wait, why this is
Okay.
creating so trouble for you? First of all, tell me. Like accessing the element is with zeroth, okay, zeroth number, okay. But if you want to count the number, then you have to count it with 0. Sorry, 1. That is the only difference. If you want to access the element, you have to access that with zeroth. That's what I would explain so far, right? I explained you that word. The length of the string will always be 4. Okay, but when you have to access the element,
Okay,
it has
okay,
to be with 0, 1, 2, 3.
okay,
So accessing the element means to say like position of that
okay, yeah,
number. It
okay,
always
now I
starts with
get it.
0. Yeah. When you
Okay,
count the numbers, when you count the characters, you're going to count it with 1 number. That's it.
okay,
Okay. So
yeah,
if you are still getting confusion, I would say that please try to access that. If you do more and more and more practice, it will be easy for you to understand these kind of concepts. If you still get that issue, just think like wisely like this way. If you have a string character, how many total
I understand it now. Yeah.
yeah, how many characters are there? There are 4 characters. How many characters are there in string 2? 3 characters. Total is like 7. With space, it will be 8. Automatically, you will get that answer. So it will be easy for you if you still get that kind of confusions. If you don't want to count 1, 2, 3 like that way, you can count like this way directly. It will be easy. And if you don't want to count by yourself, you can count it with the length function. Automatically, it will do. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? No? Any questions?
No, no question.
Okay. So how will you access the elements? If you want to access this string 1, 2, okay. How will you, this is your chef solution. I want to access the element at the 4th position. How will you access that? I mean, like I want to access, wait, let Chris, let Boma have to give this answer. If I have to access the answer, I mean, like access the S like this one, how will I access that, Boma? Can you tell me? The one which I have selected, that S, I want to get that. How will I get this S from string 1, 2? Boma, are you there?
I was
Hello.
talking, but I was on mute. Yeah. So string 1, 2, then 5 in bracket. That's how you get this. String.
1, 2, and then you're saying 5 in bracket. That's
Yeah.
what? Very good. Very nice. How we can say that? Because 0, 1, 2, 3, then with some space 4, and then 5. Very nice. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then let's say if I want to access the last element of the solution, like thing, how will I do that? Oh, sorry. If I want to access the L here, how will I do that? Can you tell me? If I want to access,
I think it should be 8. I'm
Sure?
not sure.
Why? Just think like this
Let's
way.
just
First
see.
of all, think wisely. How many? I told you what is the one thing. I told you if it starts with 0, then it
Okay,
ends.
don't worry. I'm using another class to do that. So it might not be because I was told that the last. Let me forget. I don't know.
Can I explain you, Boma? First of all, can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Listen to me first, please. If I am using string 1, 2, okay, I told you one thing. If the length of the characters are 8, what I told you as it starts with 0, then it ends with 8 minus 1, right? N minus 1. I told you, right, guys,
Mm-hmm.
earlier? If it starts with a 0, then it has to end with n minus 1. Clear? So
Mm-hmm.
you already know what is the length of the string 1, 2. It is 8. So the last element will be accessed at 7th position because it is 8 minus 1, which is 7, right? So
Yeah.
if you want to access, if I'll say like 7, then automatically it is be L, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting my point now?
Yeah.
Because it is starting with 0, it will end with 8 minus 1, n minus 1. That's it. It's too easy. Other way around, if you was asking, I was asking you, you would have done that way as well. You gave me S as that answer, which is at 5th position. Then what is after that? It is 6. This is 7. Then you would have given me answer as 7 as well, right? That time, right?
Yeah.
So it's not too confusion. It's just like you are just I get sometimes like people like you are it's new for you guys, so that's why might be like it's little confusing for you. But I guess like it's not too if you start writing down, try to do practice, you will be get to know more about it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Also, let's say you have I don't want to write down all these numbers. I want like can I do it like okay, can I do it without the numbers as well? So yes, you can do that without the numbers too. Okay. For that, without the numbers, how can you do that? You say like all this column in like in that. Okay. You want to access the element. You don't want to pass this 7 or 5 or anything like that. Okay. What you can do is you can just say that minus 1, which means like reverse the string. Reverse the string and give me the last element which is there. It'll sorry, my bad, sorry. I'll tell you what is that meaning as well, but yeah, like this is the way. It'll give me the minus 1 means L. So this is what I have explained in the PPTs too. If my hello world is starting with 0 to 10, right? It is 11 total characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total 10 are there, right? So and then there is some space as well. That's why it is 10th position is there. So 0 to 10. Total 11 characters are there, and that's why it starts with 0 and ends with 10, right? Correct? Are you getting my point here with
Yeah.
hello world? Yes or no, everyone? Please say yes or no if you are able to get that from PPT. Are you getting my point?
The last
Wait,
the
I'll
last
explain to you that this way. It is not there. It is just like this. Okay, like this it is. Okay. If I'll say this one, how many total I mean like let's say PPT check. Okay, point. I just want to show you 1 is equals to this. Then if I'll just show you the length of PT 1, what is that? How many total elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then one space is there, which is 11. If you write it down, so the answer is 11, correct? Yes or no, everyone? Yes or no, first of all, tell me. You also calculate that firstly. Mm-hmm. What is your answer?
so there's always another position after the D, the last.
No, that is what we have added it. If we would have added like this way, that's up to us. Like that's not
Oh,
to.
okay.
It's like the character like that what we have added in the PPT, and that's why I was explaining you exactly the same way. So this is the
Okay.
word we have there with some space. Okay. So that's why your answer is 11. Okay. Right? If you see this, hello, world, and then some space is there, right? That's why it starts with 0 and end with 10. Total 11 characters are there. Correct? With some space added as well. Right? Yes or no? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Rather than now, it starts with 0 and ends with 10. If I want to replicate that with minus, I mean like last elements. So 10 is also represented with -1 and 0 is also represented with -11. When you say like minus means like the last element, the last element. 10 is being substituted with -1. 9 is substituted with -2. Similarly, 0 is substituted with -11. Why -11 here? Because in this case, it is not -0. It starts with -1. That's why it ends with 11. Total 11 characters. That's why it's end with 11 in that case. As it starts with 1. In this case, it starts with 0. That's why it ends with 10. It starts with -1 and it ends with -11. Is it clear? So that's why I was explaining you if I want to access uh, the point 1 here, and I want to get this -1, it will give me blank. If I want to access -2, it will give me my date. So in that case, you don't have to learn like go through each character length and all that things. It automatically will give you last few characters of your strings. Is it clear now, everyone? Let's
Okay.
Okay, so I would say like let's keep this class till this time, and we can go through more in details about it. More we have done that. I guess like if you want, I guess like we can do more slicing. Yeah, I mean like if you want. Yeah, I also want to explain. Like this is the last thing I'll explain you before leaving out, so you can actually try all these things in the I mean at home. Okay, so let's say if I want to access this hello world, I want to access what I told you, from where this element would be starting. Is it starting with 0 or not? That for accessing the 0 like edge, what will I write? Will I write 0 or 1?
0.
Very good, right? So if I
But
want,
how would you know?
I mean like hello is there. I want to access I want to get this H from here, right? So where is it? It starts at 0th position. You know that the string is hello. So you want to access that H. You know that if that is there, H is at 0th position. That's why you want to give that 0th position. That's it, right? Okay, if I want to access that from 0 to, I want to say like, okay, I want to access the elements till 5. Okay, so how many total elements will come? It starts with 0 and ends with, I mean like the last element here is total you should have total 5 characters which should come. That is the aim. Your 5 characters should come in this case. So how will you, what are the elements will get in this case? Oh,
W.
sorry.
W.
No. It will give from 0 to, it will give like the till like it will work. It will be like a recurring statement. It will be like from 0th to 5 elements, it will come. Total the output will be like for 5 elements. Can you see like what are those elements? Those characters I would say will come. So the answer will be hello. Why?
Okay.
Because it starts with 0. It has E1, L2, L3, O5. That's why it is like total 5 characters are these. That's why you are getting hello. If you have written like 4, so total 4 characters will come. Can you tell me like now what are those?
Hell.
Very good, right? Correct? Get that point? Now let's say I want to tell you one more thing. If I want, always remember this one
This
last.
was what I was trying to do when I said it the other time, but I just didn't get it. This
Oh,
yeah.
now is it clear now?
How are you starting with 0? And sometimes you start with 0, sometimes you start with 1.
Yeah, it is like it is. Yeah, it is up to you. You want, it's up to you, right? You want to access that element. You don't want to access the first element. In that case, you want to access the element at the first position. It's up to you. Like someone, this is not like kind of this is expect like this is a kind of programming, or expect this kind of questions will come up in the interviews. They will say access the element from first position to last position. So you don't have to, write down 0 in that case. You have to write down 1 there, right?
Oh,
Right? If
kind of
someone will say
confusing.
access the element from the starting position to the ending position, then you have to say like 0 to n minus 1, right?
Not sure.
Is it clear, Christopher?
I
Or
mean,
huh?
so you're deciding on your own if you want to start
Yeah,
with 0 or
it
1.
is completely, no, not, I would say it is completely depending on the question you have. Okay. If you want to access the element at the 0th position, this is the way. If you want to access the elements from 0 to 5, this is the way. Okay. If you want to access the element from 4 to 8, okay, then what? It's up to you. Question will come to you. You have to access that element. If you want to access that, what would be the form on this case? Can you tell me? Can you guys tell me about this?
Kind of confused.
It starts from 4 and it has 8. So 8 minus 4 is equals to how many total characters? If you still get some confusion like how many characters will come, the best idea would be just minus that out. 8 minus 4 is equals to total 4, right? So that means like total 4 characters will come in this case. Okay. And if you still get confusion, there is a very, very easiest way to remember that your this statement will give you the elements starting at the 4th position and ending at 8 minus 1th position, which is equal to 7th position. So,
Position.
yeah, so always remember whatever the element is there written at the end, it always like your elements will be accessed from, it will be like from this position, exact this position, 4th position. But it always, at the end, it always ends with 8 minus 1 position and minus 1th position. Whatever written at the end, it is minus 1. So here, what is that answer? 4th position is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. O is like 4, right? Are you getting my point? So it will start from with O, 4, 5, W is 5, 6 is O, 7 is R. So answer will be like OWOR. That is my expectation. Let's say. Clear? Is it clear now? This is
Yeah.
the way you have to access the elements. It's called as a slicing. You're slicing the elements. You're just taking few elements from your, code or your string. Okay. If you want to see all these, like, you can also have one. If you want to take two characters, you want to miss out the, rather than, I mean, like, this is by default, it is one, having a 1 1 difference, because O minus, I mean, like in this case, how many hops you can take? Only one hop. What with one O to W, there is only one difference, one step difference, right? W to O, there is only one step difference. O to R, there is only one step difference. But let's say if you take two step difference, then it will be like O, then take a 2 steps, one like with 2 hops, okay? Then the answer will be like O. In this case, there is only OO will come. Is it clear now? Are you getting my point here? Clear? This is the way to do the hopping. I mean, like you can select few elements, and all this slicing comes up when you are doing the programming. Sometimes this is very clear interview questions people ask on the basic level. They ask you like you want to access the few slices or few elements. How will you do that? They will give you the question that you want to access these elements. This is the programming you want to write down over there. Okay. Last one thing I want to access is for you all is, let's say I want all these characters, all the elements, all that. I mean, like whatever, like how we have written this. Can I tell like this way? My point was like this, right? If I want to get this PT1, if I'll say like all that rows, this is for all that columns. I mean, like 4, 8, I don't want anything. This is like all the rows, all the columns, whatever is there, I want access. If you are not writing anything, it means everything you are taking out. Okay. Let's say if I don't want to like this way, I want to reverse its string. How will I do that? I'll just write down -1. See, the answer is the reverse of that string. Clear? This is the only thing I want to tell you guys. And please try your more exercises on it. Try to do more practice. Whatever is there in the PPT, try to access till this position of the slicing. Okay, that's all we have. If you have any questions, please ask me. If not, then we can end the session. And
When is the next class?
sorry.
It's okay. I said I'll talk to them and ask them. I was asking when the next class is, but I'll
The
ask
next
them.
class will be on the same day, Saturday and Sunday. I guess like the timing will be shortly given to you guys, but it will be on Saturdays and Sundays. It won't be on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm not sure whether it will be this week or not because you're this week
Okay.
done, right? So let's see whether you have it or not. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So it's going to be Saturdays and Sundays henceforth.
That's correct. Yeah. Most
Okay,
probably.
good. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Thank
That's
you.
good. All right.
Anything else? If not, we can end this class then.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you
No,
so much.
thank you.
So hope Chris, this is your new like first class, right? I hope like you
Yeah.
were able to understand few things very well. You're also a quick learner. I have seen that. Like it's easy, like you're able to pick up the things very well. That's great. I think like
Okay.
I have seen that this is my information. And Boma is so great. Like she has already picked up so very well. I would just say that, guys, please do your practice. Don't stop your practice at home. If you're meeting the next week or anything, I'm not sure whether you have like the class on this coming Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure about it. If there is, that's great. Otherwise, still start practicing and take your time out for this all this practice part. Okay? Is
Mhm.
it clear?
Let me ask a quick question. Is there a WhatsApp group? I remember the other class I attended with the other guys, we were talking about it. I don't know.
No, I don't have that idea. Not sure about that.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. Okay.
Okay. Sure, Boma. Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you
Have a
too.
great day. Bye. Thank you once again.
You're welcome. Good night.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Chris, are you in the US?
Huh?
Are you in US or India?
Yes.
You're in
No,
US.
I mean, yes.
Can we how do we connect at least so we can talk to each other? Let me drop my number. Hello?
Yeah.
Please, can you give me your number or text me, please? Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
How would I do that?
Sorry?
How would I send you the number?
Oh, my number is in the chat box.
Oh, I can't see the
Yeah.
chart. Oh,
Oh, you
okay.
can't?
Are you in the US?
Yes, I am. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. All right.
Uh-huh.
Good night.
Good night.